Good evening and welcome to the 68th edition of the Alabama Call-In Show from yours truly, Jackson Johnson and Jeffrey Only Talk Sports. We are celebrating an Only Talk Sports Birthweek special as, Sunday was the birthday of Jeffrey, but that's all right. We celebrate birthdays for a week all right here. And let me tell you, we're going to take you for a wild ride as we take your calls discussing the Alabama Crimson Tide. The 68th edition of the Alabama Crimson Tide Live Call-In Show is presented by FanDuel. We can get top-notch predictions in the world of the NFL, college football, men's and women's college basketball, and much more. And let me tell you something, folks. You're always going to be in for a wild ride, especially looking at the Patriots and the Broncos for the AFC title game. As even though the Patriots are 3.5 or 4.5 favorites, there's one little thing. They're 0-4 all time in Denver against the Broncos. Anytime they've played in the playoffs, that's a wild one for sure. But either way, we'll be making sure we've got a wild ride for you this offseason, and it's going to be fun. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
Doing good, Jackson. Definitely exciting stuff in the sports world with the NFL playoffs coming down toward the end. And you've got Indiana, the national champion still is it's a surreal feeling, something I never thought would happen. And Alabama, we got some turmoil, ups and downs, but it does seem overall, that like we're trying to move forward. Simpson era's over. Trying to get some players in. In this wild portal era. So just definitely a lot of stuff to talk about. Definitely can't wait to get into it, and it's interesting stuff as always.
Oh, there we go. We've got a packed lineup as we're going to start with our good buddy Godfather, the SEC. And after that is Adam Lamparello from Rutgers at the Voice of College Football. Godfather, how you doing tonight, good buddy?
I'm just glad to be alive at my age.
Always a blessing.
Oh, it's amazing, man.
I did come up with a conclusion about you, Jeffrey. Jackson and I were talking about it before in the green room. I can tell you're a metalhead. I can tell it. I can tell it. You gonna beat that guitar like it took your lunch money. I can tell.
How did you come to that conclusion?
You might as well come out of your shell and let it rip and get it over with.
I do like some metal music. But how did you know that?
Man, I know a metalhead when I see one. That ought to tell you I'm a hippie head.
Well, that's awesome stuff. I mean, it's like classic rock, kind of like hard rock, heavy metal. To me, that's some of the best music out there, in my opinion. I think most other genres are inferior. Iron Maiden's great. Metallica, Deep Purple, all that stuff. Dio, it's good stuff. I mean, I don't know. It's like it's not popular music anymore, but
Slayer fanatic.
I like a lot of that stuff.
Oh so. Yeah, but when he pulls the hat off, he changes completely. Everybody when the hat comes off. He's got a guitar head right around there somewhere. I bet you he does. Right. Yeah. Anyway, but I don't know. I mean, what is Alabama? We're gonna keep our I guess our old line coach is gonna stay with us. I heard so many rumors he was gone. Well, he's staying. Looks like to me, I don't think anybody's left the staff under DeBoer, have they? Except for the wide receiver coach.
No, I don't think anybody's really leaving, but we'll definitely wait and see what happens with Chris Kaplovic. He could leave for someplace. We don't know. So there's a possibility, but we'll be keeping an eye on that.
Well, I mean, typically when you're underperforming, staying stagnant isn't always the best decision. I know I'm not a big coaching, getting fired really quickly type of guy. I like giving people their time, but our offensive line has not been good. And I know that, we're trying to bring in a lot of really good players in the portal, but if the scheming is not there, it's not going to matter. I mean, what's so funny is that literally almost every single offensive lineman for Indiana that just won the national championship were under Tom Allen. All those guys, like you talk about the bulk of Tom Allen's players that were still in Indiana, it was that offensive line. And when Tom Allen was the head coach, and they had a different offensive line coach rather, and offensive coordinator, they sucked. They got new coaches in, and the players got better. So I mean, I'm not saying that our offensive line coach is horrible. I'm just saying that if they aren't good this year with the players they've brought in the portal, if the offensive line is not rated well, then you need to make a coaching move. It's just flat out, you got to do that. That's what Tom Allen did. Tom Allen wouldn't fire anybody, and who ended up getting fired? Tom Allen. It's going to happen to board too. You have to make the moves if you're underperforming, but we'll see.
That we will, and we're hoping that the 6 linemen from the portal can really make a huge difference. I mean, I'm excited about it. I'm crossing my fingers for a really good season in 2026. Because, I mean, I think it can happen, but there again, we just have to make sure the trenches are looking good for the 2026 season.
Got to. I mean, I think the offensive line was the worst part of the whole. Special teams was awful too. I mean, we didn't even. Alabama goes all season long and doesn't even get a kickoff return. Did we even have one kickoff return this year? Not that I remember, we didn't.
No.
Well, what I don't understand, Godfather, is that we had all those depth receivers, and not one of them were utilized in the return game to, all the speed that we had. I mean, Indiana, I hate to keep bringing them up, but Jonathan Brady was Indiana's return guy, and he didn't play much, but he was just used for returns. That's all he was used for all season long. And it's like Alabama had Jalen Hale, Mbakwe, Cole Adams, Brooks before he emerged a bit, like tons of receivers that could have been utilized in the return game, and they didn't even play anyway. So I don't get it. It makes no sense to just give up trying to get yards. Like the return game, even though they've changed, the way, the NFL is even worse with their rules. But like the return game is not as big of a deal in football as it used to be because of just the way it is now. But still, some teams, every now and then games change, especially punt returns, through returning for a touchdown. And you're just not seeing Alabama even attempt that at all. It makes no sense. You're leaving too much opportunity off the table.
Way too much. I always said what Coach Bryant always said, you got to be sound on special teams and the kicking game. If you're not, it will get you beat. I mean, so I don't know. I mean, I know Coach DeBoer can't be Nick Saban. He can't be Coach Paul Bryant. I mean, he can't even be. I don't know. Maybe he's rebuilding the team. The offensive line once again. All these guys coming in. They've never played together. How long is it going to take you to get them to jail? Are you going run some out and run some in? We run the pass play, get this one out. He can't pass block, put this one in. Alabama's got to find 5 guys on the offensive line that can stay out there. Passing, running, jumping up and down, acting the fool, whatever they want to do. They got to find 5 guys that can stay out there. Mm-hmm. And this year, y'all saw it. I mean, DeBoer, it's not his fault. I guess he was doing what he thought was the best to try to win the football games, and that's what you're supposed to do when you coach. Of course, you're not going to please everybody. Somebody's always going to criticize you, even if it's perfect. But I saw a lot of offensive linemen running back and forth. You never did see Coach Saban do that. Of course, he had some hellacious line coaches, Jeff Stoutland and all of them. I mean, he didn't have to worry about the offensive line. He knew somebody, it was taken care of. But this cat we got down there now, I don't know. I don't know if it was him or the players. They were too big and too slow.
Yeah, I mean, sizes and everything. I mean, you talk about Miami, people said, "Oh, well, they're 6'9" and 6'8" on the defensive line." That's great, but what Miami's defense was so dangerous at was that they were quick, like Ruben Bain and some of those other guys they had. It wasn't the elite big guys that were the problem. Like Caden Proctor was not the best offensive lineman in college football by a long shot. He wasn't even close to the best. He's a big dude, and it was kind of cool how we were utilizing him a little bit at times in the middle of the season, which we completely went away from. Not that would have made a big difference. I mean, having him run for 2 yards isn't that big a deal, but it was cool. But what I'm getting at is that he's a good player for what he is, but you need linemen that are like 6'5", 300 pounds, and can move. That they're big enough to block basically anybody, almost anybody, but they can move the lateral movements to be able to, okay, you guys kind of coming off the edge quick, you can kind of turn and stay in front. If you're a really big guy and you don't have the quick, twitch and movements, especially in like the hips, you're going to get beat. And, you just see a lot these days, like linemen are getting bigger. There's a lot of 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" linemen weighing 340, 350 pounds, and that's great. But a lot of them it's almost disadvantageous because they're just not as mobile. Mobility, you don't think about that much in the lines of scrimmage, but you kind of still have to be mobile. You can't just be a big mass and that's it. Because, if you're a big mass and you're like a dude's trying to like coming straight at you, he can block. But if he's got to start moving around, you're going to get beat. And Alabama definitely, they did not have a very dynamic offensive line because they were just kind of largely not quick for linemen. So it'll be interesting to see because, like Jackson said, bringing in 6 guys in the transfer portal, that clearly is where DeBoer and the staff's mindset is. Like, hey, we gotta build up the lines of scrimmage. What I worried about though is like, if you bring in all these guys, if it's the O-line coach, if he's just not that good, it's not going to matter. If it's not the O-line coach and maybe these guys are a lot better and the lines of scrimmage are a lot better, I'm almost worried that our other positions aren't that good now. So it's kind of a catch-22. Like Alabama, just we don't have right now on projected on a roster like some of the major just depth and talent everywhere like we had 5-10 years ago. There's a lot of holes everywhere. And that's why we're barely ranked in the top 20 in these way too early top 25s. And some of them even have us at like 21. I mean, no one's really high on Alabama for the first time since 2007.
Oh, yeah. I remember 07. We weren't ranked. Alabama wasn't ranked in the preseason that time. And 08, Alabama was 24th in the preseason top 25. I remember those preseason rankings. That was the last time Alabama was not even close to top 15 in the preseason rankings, I believe.
Oh yeah, I don't.
I'm okay with everybody, with the media people being down on Alabama, because that means that could be used as a motivational tool. So
something, you got that right. Somebody's got to get motivated somewhere.
Yeah, you got to use it like the 48 laws of power. Just kind of, get them while everybody least suspects you.
Well, motivation was not a big benefactor to Alabama last year. I mean, you think about the Florida State game, that should have had all the motivation in the world. Granted, it was Simpson's first game, all that. I get, there were issues there, but still, Alabama was not motivated in that game. The Oklahoma game at home that they lost, coming off the loss the year before. I mean, there were moments this past year where Alabama flashed that they were good. The Georgia, the game, first one in Athens, but I mean, Georgia got a lot better after that game. I guess second half against Oklahoma in the playoffs, but I mean, there were moments in the 4-game win streak against all those elite opponents that we played. Tennessee and Vanderbilt were elite. I'm kind of being facetious because they really weren't. Because I had conversations with people about Alabama's schedule that they played such a tough schedule. And I mean, I'm not saying the schedule wasn't hard, but it really wasn't that hard. Beating Missouri, beating Tennessee, that's like beating Illinois and Iowa. It's not, they weren't that good of wins. We kind of were propping it up a bit. We were propping it up to make it seem like Alabama was better than they were. They really, I know they lost to the national champions, but they weren't even close to being competitive in the game. And that shows you where we're at. And the fact that, like, I would agree with Jackson normally about motivation, but it just doesn't seem like I've seen 2 years of DeBoer, Alabama, and motivation has not been a big deal. It's not helped us. You know, it hasn't, like, in some games where it's just like common sense, where it's like, okay, well, they've got all the motivation in the world. They lost to that team last year. They're going to come back hungry this time. Or, oh, this quarterback talked smack. We're going to knock him off the face of the earth for how dare he talk bad about Alabama. We just didn't do that. So I don't know if it's like, well, okay, team, we're ranked 20th coming into this year. They don't believe in you. Is that going to make Alabama play better? I think the only way Alabama is going to play better is if the players that they brought in the portal care more than the players that we lost. Because clearly the players that we lost didn't care that hard because they left. And I know money is a factor, but it's like it's also, you know, like losing Horton and James Smith, guys like that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, just the effort to me wasn't there. Are these guys going to have more effort? We're not going to know until 9 months from now. But there's just a lot of question marks with Alabama's team. There's a lot of question marks. There's holes on the roster. They literally are 20 players short of filling the roster. And I don't know where the headspace is of these players that are coming in. Do they want to win? Do they want to play for Bama? Or is it just about a paycheck? It's going to be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say to Roger, we appreciate you tuning in, by the way. Yeah, when he says Saban didn't have 8 losses his first 2 years.
Yeah, he
Well,
did.
yeah, because like actually,
He
you know,
went
he had
7-6 in year one.
Yeah, the 6 losses, and I can go ahead and name them. Overtime loss to Georgia, because I should know Mike Patrick and Todd Blackledge were talking about Britney Spears ruining her life back then. Week later, Alabama lost to Florida State in Jacksonville, Florida on CBS. And then Alabama lost all throughout November against LSU, lost to Mississippi State on the Raycom Sports Channel, lost to Louisiana Monroe week before rivalry week.
It's the only game anybody talks about.
And Alabama lost to Auburn in 2007. But Alabama got some momentum by beating Colorado on a Sunday night on ESPN, defeating Colorado in the 2007 Independence Bowl. But really got some motivation defeating the Clemson Tigers in the inaugural Chick-fil-A kickoff at the start of the 2008 season and the blackout for a knockout against Georgia in 2008.
They lost 3 games in 2008. How many games? 2. So he lost.
Alabama lost to Florida in the 2008 ACC title game on CBS. And then on January 2nd, 2009, Alabama lost to the Utah Utes in the 2009 Sugar Bowl on January 2nd, 2009.
So he lost 8 games in his first 2 seasons,
mm-hmm.
Which is funny because John said Saban didn't have 8 losses first year. He literally had 8 losses in his first 2 years, which is, I mean, the thing is that, again, it was a completely different Alabama, though. Prior to 2007, Alabama was not very good, and they were not very competitive in the SEC. So, you know, Saban turned them around. Like, no one was, like, losing their mind that Alabama went 7-6 in his first year. If Kalen DeBoer had have gone 7-6 in his first year, it would have been a lot worse problems because Alabama's coming off Saban, you know. The problem with the last 2 years is, like, Alabama's been pretty relevant. They haven't had, like, awful seasons. They're just not good for Alabama. It's just like they just kind of look like Penn State. Not Penn State this year, but like Penn State most of Franklin. We're like flirting on the edge of mattering. On the edge of national relevancy, which is just, it doesn't make any sense considering the fact that the way Saban left the program didn't seem like we were declining that hard. You know, I know DeBoer has, you know, he's trying to, you know, get the roster to, you know, fit what he wants to do, but it kind of just seems like they're kind of stuck. Like how Luke Fickell was trying to change Wisconsin into a passing offense. It didn't work. So now he's trying to revert back to being a run team. It's still not working. But, I don't know where Alabama's going right now. What the identity? I don't know what the identity is. There is no identity. What's the defensive identity? What's the offensive identity?
It's not there.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll slide out of here and let Adam come on and do his thing here. But it's always fun to be on here on Thursday night.
I appreciate it, Godfather. I always love talking football and Alabama at large and college football at large with you. It's always a great time, and I appreciate it.
Keep playing that metal music. Get your hair grown out. Grow your hair out, and then you'll be a real metalhead. Anyway, you guys have a great night. I'll be in the chat listening, and I'll catch y'all next week or somewhere along the weekend if you do another show or something. Be safe, guys. Watch this crazy weather. We don't know what's going to happen, so keep your eyes open. Don't want anybody hurt or anything here. Maybe
absolutely. Prayers for everybody that they make it through the winter weather that is coming for everybody.
And happy birthday to Jeffrey here. He's getting older by the minute. For only talk sports. For he talks sports sometimes, but not all the time. I screwed that up again. I'm out of here. Y'all be good.
I appreciate it, Godfather. I mean, it's actually pretty accurate. I try, but I can't unfortunately talk sports every day. And sometimes we just go off the rails and start talking about whatever. So we try.
Oh, there you go, man. And like this show is like, this is a celebration of your week, man. This is a celebration of your week, man. We're making sure of that. You've been making magic on Only Talk Sports and magic all right here on Alabama with the Voice of College Football. And here to join us to make some more magic, he's from Rutgers at the Voice of College Football, and he is a go-to on law, Adam Lamparello. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
All right, great to be on the show. Thanks for having me on. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing all right. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
All right, Jeffrey, since rumor has it that you are from North Carolina, I should tell you that I am currently in Sugar Mountain, North Carolina, doing some skiing, and it's interesting here, except for the bears. But Jeffrey, I also heard another strange rumor that it was your birthday this week. So happy birthday to you, and hope all is well with both of you.
I appreciate that, Adam, and everything is well, doing great. It's been a good week, good birth week. Jackson celebrating the whole week for me. I appreciate that.
You're welcome, man.
Glad to be on here tonight. I'm a little tired, probably a little noticeable, but I'm trying.
Adam, there's another celebration coming up at the Voice College Football, and of course tomorrow night is the State of the Voice College Football Dress, which is also on the 2-year anniversary of TJ Ronan being officially part of the Michigan channel. But also, one of your co-stars, Adam, Gabriel Pickup, who makes magic on the social media team, but also on the Rutgers channel and on NBA Trades and Rumors, which I personally call him our underrated version of Shams, because he's got magic. He's got magic on the NBA tapes. I mean, he's got beard magic, man. I tell you what. But he's got an upcoming 1-year anniversary at Rutgers at the Voice of College Football and at the Voice of College Football Network. Absolutely. And Brian Moore has a 1-year anniversary as well at the Nebraska channel as he makes that magic with Justin Adams.
How in the world do you remember all this, man?
Well, I watch a lot of the channels. That's why.
I mean, I give you mad respect. It's a lot of anniversaries. Some people can't even remember the only anniversary that they should remember.
Well, anniversaries are better than divorces. They're better than funerals. So I guess we can, be thankful in that regard. But, I'm in a pretty bad mood tonight because I'm not happy with the state of Alabama football. And I don't like the way that we looked against Indiana. I thought it was embarrassing. I thought it was an absolute disgrace. I thought we started out the season against Florida State and got our asses kicked. And then we went on a run, about 8 games. And then we lost to Oklahoma, got through Auburn, and got through Oklahoma and Norman. But what I saw from Alabama can be summarized in just a few words: lack of physicality. And that is a big, big problem going forward. Now, I think Kalen DeBoer is a great coach, and I think he's a great person, no question about that. But I think if he's going to try to bring a finesse offense and a finesse philosophy to Alabama football, he's not the right man for the job.
Ooh.
I mean,
So-
I don't completely disagree with that at all. I mean, I'm definitely a proponent of trying to give DeBoer more time. You know, I want him to work out, but I'm also like, all right, if they don't win more next year, which is, I mean, looking at the way too early polls and looking at the roster at large, I mean, it doesn't look like we're going to be better next year. I mean, anything can happen, but you're asking a lot of what ifs. I mean, Keelan Russell / Austin Mack, but probably Keelan Russell. He's going to have to be really good. A lot of the guys that we have coming in have to hit. Like, you can't have busts in the portal. Like, you need all these guys, like all the dudes we're bringing in. All those linemen have to be great. You know, Noah Rogers from NC State at receivers got to be great because, I mean, we just lost all of our development. All the development receivers, they're gone. We lost them all. They're not staying. They're history. So, you know, like, we lost a lot of the supposed talent that all the recruiting we've been doing that's so great the last few years. We're not keeping those guys. Or like any other program, we're losing them all. So it's like that you're not keeping guys in the program. So now you're having to supplement it in the portal. And if you look at our portal ranking, it ain't even good overall compared to other top programs. It just I'm really failing to see the upside. Like, I know, like, a lot of people are gonna, you know, talk positive about their team, you know, and try to find positives. But I mean, I try to be realistic. Like, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, say Bama's toast or anything, but I'm not super confident where we're at. I don't like what's going on right now.
Well, let's look at the last three national champions: Indiana, Michigan, Ohio State. What one thing did they have in common? They were
all in the Big Ten.
and they're physical in the trenches.
Yeah.
And what I saw from Alabama this year against Indiana was a total embarrassment. Alabama, you know, from 2009 to about 2000, at least 17, was a team that destroyed you in the trenches, as Nick Saban would say, made their asses want to quit. Now, what I see is a team that's getting out physicaled on both sides of the line of scrimmage. And if DeBoer does not fix that, again, he's a great coach, great person, but if he does not bring that physicality to Alabama and instead tries to adopt kind of a finesse approach that I kind of saw at his during his Washington years, then he's not the right man for Alabama. So I hope he is a successful coach at Bama, but if he does not adopt the philosophy that we need to win based on physicality, then I don't think he should be the coach.
If he did get fired or canned after 20, which, I mean, I don't think that would happen. More like 2027.
Right.
2
or 3 years.
What if he did get canned? Who would be the man to replace him with?
I mean, everybody's going to point to two individuals, no matter what: Lane Kiffin and Kurt Cignetti. It's going to happen. I think that there's a really good chance that they don't get either of them. You know, Cignetti, I really don't think that he's leaving Indiana. I don't think.
No.
I mean, they keep pushing it. Like, I'm laughing because, and when I mean they, you know what I mean. Just the talking heads, whatever, people just like Cignetti's going to go to the NFL. Cignetti's going to stop with the Cignetti going anywhere. If he goes somewhere, he goes somewhere. But I mean, he's made it clear, like, I'm not going to the NFL. I'm not going to Penn State. I'm not leaving Indiana. I want to retire in Indiana. You know, like, he said all these things. Like, okay, so whatever. But if DeBoer got fired tomorrow, Cignetti would be at the very top of the list because that's what people are going to do until he turns them down.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I think there's zero chance that Cignetti would leave, and he'd be a fool if he left Indiana after what he did. But I don't necessarily need a coach that has a big name. What I need is a coach from the Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick, Nick Saban lineage who believes that, you know what football ultimately comes down to is beating the hell out of the other person that you're lined up against and winning in the trenches. That's what we need. That's what made Alabama successful under Bear Bryant, under Nick Saban. What I'm fearful of is that DeBoer believes more in scheme and a pass, primarily a passing offense, and doesn't place that much emphasis on physicality. And when he was at Washington and they played Michigan in the national championship game, why did Michigan win? Because they out-physicaled them. If he doesn't embrace that philosophy, as good as a coach he is, in 2-3 years, he should not be the coach.
Well, yeah, I mean, it definitely seems like they are, trending in that direction. They're not being as physical. I mean, you talk about size. Like, I watched Indiana line up against Alabama, and Alabama was the bigger team. Alabama had the bigger athletes, bigger players, and it didn't matter. Like, Indiana won the game because they played harder. And I literally said before the game, I said, who's going to win the game is who plays harder. And that most games, that's the case. It is. Who plays harder. But when you've got like Alabama versus Mercer, even if Mercer plays harder, Alabama's still going to win. The difference with Indiana and teams like that is that they're good enough that if Alabama's not trying, they can win. And Indiana was very good, and they blew the brakes off of them. But like the problem, like Alabama, like losing to Vanderbilt and losing to Florida State and losing to some of these teams that DeBoer's lost to in his first 2 seasons. That's what I'm talking about. Those type of teams are beating Alabama on a consistent basis because they are playing harder. Alabama, I don't know if Kalen DeBoer knows how to get maximum effort out of his players. I don't know if he knows how to do that. And I think when this NIL era, I think it is getting harder to do so. I think for any coach, it is getting harder to do so.
Well, I think you need players who are hungry, who are angry, and who want to play with bad intentions, like the Miami defensive line, like the Indiana offensive line. I mean, when we played Indiana, Alabama quit in the fourth quarter. They quit. And Hemby ran all over them. And that's not acceptable under the Alabama standard. And if Kalen DeBoer thinks he's going to scheme his way out of this, he's not going to, because scheme does not defeat physicality. At the end of the day, you can have all these different coverages. You can have Saban's cover 7. You can have this and that. You can have all these wonderful design plays on offense. But if you can punch somebody in the mouth and make them quit, you're going to win. And that's old school football, and that's what Alabama needs.
Oof. Yeah. Got to be hungry, no doubt.
Now, Jeffrey, I understand rumors have been flying around that you turned 22. So my advice to you is this. The 20s are the worst decade of life because the 20s are when you're not sure what you want to be, what you want to do. It's kind of chaotic. But once you hit 30, things start to clarify. And once you hit 40, things are good and you got that confidence and you're living a good life. So with that advice in mind, try to minimize the chaos in your 20s and enjoy yourself, because I heard you had a great birthday. And hey, living in the beautiful state of North Carolina, a lot of opportunity out here. So I give you a lot of credit.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. North Carolina's a great state. Great state. You got
the Tar Heel State.
Beach. You've got the Piedmont. You can't beat all that. It kind of, the state gives you a little bit of everything. But not a lot of states can say that. I don't think, sorry, Montana, but I don't think you got beach. I don't think you've got warm weather most of the time. You got some cool mining history, and you've got a lot of snow and mountains, and it's beautiful. But I'm just saying, like, North Carolina can give you most of everything. So it's a good state, and I will take that advice. I'll try to minimize the chaos in the 20s. So
yeah, and I'll tell you something. I have to say I love the people of North Carolina, because I was out to dinner tonight, and I was sitting at the bar enjoying a wonderful, wonderful steak, and somebody came up to the bar, some guy and some girl, and they said, "Can we get change of this?" And they put a $10 bill on the bar. And I reached out, I took the $10 bill, and I said, "I'm going to steal this from you just because I want to." And you know what they said? "That's all right." And I said, now that is the kind of humanity we need. And then I gave them back the $10 bill and said, hey, things are all right in North Carolina. Good state, good people. Happy to be there.
That is a great story.
Only a dumbass like me would do something like that, but it's still fun. When you're 50 years old, you get more, let's say, more willing to just do funny things without worrying what people will think of you. But enjoy your 20s, and my advice to you is don't get married until you're in your 30s if you decide to get married. And if you don't decide to get married, that's okay too.
I think that is fantastic advice as well. I've known a lot of people that have gotten married really early. I know people that are already married young, and it's like, I mean, nothing wrong with it. I mean, you saw Fernando Mendoza, right? I don't know if you saw. He was like, "I'm not dating anybody."
Oh yeah, he's focused on
they were like, "Oh, yeah, we know why he's not dating anybody." No, it's because he was locked in. He was focused.
I mean, he's the guy that brought Indiana their first national title.
To me, that shows you that it paid off.
Bro could get any woman he wanted. They're gonna be like, Fernando. But that's what they're thinking every time they see Fernando Mendoza.
And Jeffrey, I'm going to get, since most people tuned into the show to talk about Alabama football, the last piece of advice I'll give you is get rich slowly. Put a little money aside consistently for 35 years, and by the time you turn my age or a little bit older, you'll be in good shape.
Sounds great. I appreciate that. Very smart words of advice, smart wisdom, and I think we can learn a lot from that, Jackson.
Yes, we can.
You better enjoy your 20s while you still got them, Jackson. You're getting close.
I am.
You're getting close to that 3-0, man.
Well, you get 3-0. You know what it's like to be 50? I'll tell you what it's like. You wake up and you get out of bed and you say, ouch, that hurt, because your knees are hurting. Then you try to exercise and you're like, wait a second. I used to do like 3 times this much in high school. And then you think you can do what you did in high school, and you wind up sore for a few days and thinking everything goes downhill from here. But the trick is this. Actually, it doesn't. It goes uphill as you get older because you're so much wiser and you're living such a happier and more confident life. So cherish the days that you have in your 20s, because before you know it, you will be my age and you'll regret if you didn't enjoy every day.
Absolutely. Again, also, Adam is just complete facts right now. Everything. I mean, I agree. I mean, time flies. Like, I can't believe, like probably in about a few months, it'll be like 4 years since, me and Jackson have met and been doing shows and stuff. It's just time flies. Like, it is an insane thing. So, yeah.
Man.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, Jeffrey. I assume that you seem like a really smart guy. I assume you're going to probably be very successful. Remember this. The most important success in life is the relationships you have with your family and that you have with your friends. No amount of money or success can change that. So don't ever lose sight of spending time with your family and your friends.
Absolutely.
Not that anybody cares about my advice because, But
we do.
No, your advice is great. I love it. I mean, sometimes you do get called in with your day-to-day stuff and you're not spending a lot of time with people. I try to spend as much time with people in my life that I can, but sometimes it's like, man, I don't have a lot of time. But keywords, you got to make time. That is always the solution. 24 hours in a day. There's always time to be with family and friends, even when you're busy. So I definitely cherish that advice as well.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Got plenty of time before we know it. Like, time flies by fast, which can be a blessing and a curse at the same time.
And Jackson, I have a great piece of advice that I think your audience would love. And people get mad when I say this, but I say don't read the Bible. And I'll tell you why. I can't understand what half the stuff is saying. Read the version that interprets the Bible. That is much better, because that you can understand. I'm just saying. No offense to Jesus or anybody else over there, up there, or down there, whoever is. don't want to go to purgatory or nothing, but read the version that interprets the passages for you, so you don't sit there wondering what they meant in the Old Testament.
Oh, will do, man. I'll be making
Our
sure.
thought processing has always been that I think like it's not meant for us to understand, so you keep reading it.
And if you don't believe in religion, if you don't believe in God, you know what? Believe in something that is bigger than you, and have humility.
That's exactly
Absolutely.
what I've heard my parents say once. Like I've heard them say it a lot when I was younger. Oh my God. Wow.
Ego will kill you.
Yeah.
The world does not revolve around any singular person.
Nope. The people that think that way don't last very long in where they're at.
No, but the world does revolve slightly around bourbon. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it just tastes so good. And when you just can't feel happy by yourself, it has this magical way of making you feel just a little bit okay. In other words, don't be afraid to be flawed, but be honest.
I don't think I've tasted bourbon, but I'll definitely have to try it out. But it's got to be one drink because I don't want to lose the brain cells.
Yeah, well, you did the victory cigar too after the Tennessee game. I was,
Yep.
Oh my God.
Still got them saved up in the office.
He still got. Oh my God. I did not do that. You had one for both of us, but yeah.
Yep. That I only use those for Alabama, Tennessee, but if there's any other big celebration, then I'll use the cigar for
Dude, it's gonna take you like 12 years to get through that bag, man.
Watch out for three things in life. Number one, if you're hanging out with somebody who inhales a cigar, run. Number two, if you're dating a woman or a man, whatever, I don't want to judge, but if you're dating someone who says, "Why do you love me?" run. And if you're dating someone who is named after a city or a month, get the hell out of there. If you follow those, you're going to be all right.
Sorry for April and May. Sorry for April, May, and June.
Yes, there you go.
Oh, those are like names of Daisy Duck's nieces.
Yes.
Oh man.
June Cleaver.
What was that second part of the I love you part again? Like,
yes, if you're dating someone who looks at you and says, "Why do you love me?" get the hell out of there.
Oh,
it means they're insecure and their expectations of you are to solve their problems and make them happy, and they don't understand that their happiness exists within themselves. Run from North Carolina all the way to Montana. You'll like Missoula better. I mean, you'll adjust, but get out of there because a bad relationship will kill a life. Never, ever get into a bad relationship. It'll suck the life out of you.
I don't plan to. I'm just making sure I'm keeping my eyes on the right path, and I know Jeffrey as well.
Hi, Grace. Grace, none of this applies to you. That's why we've been together for 10 years. She went back to bed. Shit.
Oh man. Well, no worries there.
Friends,
but I will
be 20 and 30 years, 40 years, all that good stuff.
Yep. There you go. Get to eat yummy foods on an anniversary.
Never forget the anniversary.
And remember, guys,
I don't think that's something you'll have to worry about for me.
You're going to become 50 years old, and it's going to go so quick you're not going to believe it. So spend time with people you love, because there's going to come a time when they're not here anymore. Yeah. And you're never going to want to say, "I wish I had spent more time."
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Will do. Well, all right, Adam. But by the way, check out the magic that Adam produces at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central Time with Donovan and Gabe on Rutgers Scarlet Knights Live. All right there on Rutgers at the Voice of College Football. We'll put the link to the Rutgers channel in just a little bit for you to come over to like, comment, subscribe to the magic that Adam creates. All right.
Thanks, Jackson. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome, man. It's my job to make sure everybody's doing all right.
All right. Channel, despite the team trying to find its way, the channel is not finding its way. It's doing great with Adam and Gabriel. Definitely check it out. Whether you're a Rutgers fan or not, they do a great job. Hopefully their team can match their performance eventually.
Well, I really appreciate that, Jeffrey, and thank you, Jackson. I want to tell Rutgers fans out there who do watch the show, look, you may be angry, but I tell it like it is. I'm not just going to sit there and compliment Rutgers and act like everything is, nice and rosy. The team stunk this year. They were terrible, and they're going to continue being terrible if they don't behave themselves and get the right players and the right coaches. So you either tell it like it is or you're a pretender. I tell it like it is.
I agree.
Oh, man. There you go, man.
I don't know about you guys, though, but I'm really worried. I'm really worried about Alabama going forward because I don't think they got in the portal what they needed to really dominate the trenches. And I'm scared that we're looking at an 8-4 season next year and possibly worse. Am I wrong?
If it's worse than that, he's gone.
Oof.
I mean, yeah, we lost to Oklahoma at home. And I don't want people to say, oh, it was the 3 turnovers. It was also because they out-physicaled us across the board. And as far as scheme goes, they out-schemed us. Venables' defense confused Ty Simpson the entire game. And this is not Alabama. And DeBoer is either going to embrace the standard or he's not. And if he doesn't, a good man and a great coach, but it's not a right fit for Alabama.
100%. And I hope it doesn't go down like that, but only time will tell.
Yeah. We've only got to turn to 26 days until then. We've got to turn 26 days until East Carolina.
Well, think about it, guys. It's 2026 now. We have all this technology, artificial intelligence, all these fancy things. But you look at who won the national championship this year and why they won it. Old school values. Bust your ass, work hard, be accountable, do your job, believe in the team and not yourself. The old school values transcend all of this bullshit going on in society.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Oh, man.
I'm a cheap imitation of Dr. Phil.
Oh, well, and you got you got a great hairdo, way more than Dr. Phil does. He's just like, nope.
I see my friends. I went to the movies with one of my high school friends a few weeks ago. He's bald. He looked at me and said, "What's with your hair?" I said, "Sorry, buddy, but you're going down." And that's the end of the story. I'm still fighting to stay young. And that's the key to being happy in life. Stay young, stay innocent, and stay hopeful.
There you
And
go.
continue to watch Garfield and Charlie Brown.
Yes.
No,
And don't forget about Ernie and Bert on Sesame Street in the Christmas Eve special.
yeah.
All right, now I'm starting to sound pretty crazy. So before I get death threats, all I'm trying to say is, you know what? Remember when you were a teenager and you were happy and youthful? Stay that way, because when you get older, you still have the same youthful mindset.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Will do, man. We will, man. Well, Adam, we'll be seeing you later. Thank you for coming on, man, and we'll be seeing you soon. Goodbye.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on, and roll Tide.
Roll
Roll
Tide, roll.
Tide.
Go Scarlet Knights, and you're always welcome to come back here anytime.
Thanks. Cheers.
Cheers.
Appreciate it, Adam. Appreciate all the great advice, and good luck to Rutgers.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's pretty good advice from Adam right there, man.
Absolutely. I loved it, man. It was fantastic advice too. Like the thing is like everything he said was true, but I also like how he brought humor into it as well. That because I mean life is better when you're making jokes, but also like the honesty of it and the truthfulness of it, you can't beat it. I mean, I agree. Too many people when they get older forget the way it was when they were young, and it sucks. Like, you want them to keep that youthfulness, even if, they don't feel well, but like have that young energy, of enjoying life. I don't know. It's just good stuff. Very good stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's for sure, man. That's for sure. Well, before we continue on, of course, we've got some magic all right here on Alabama The Voice College Football, but we're going to tell you a little bit about the merch store of Alabama The Voice College Football as Valentine's Day is coming up, and these are some gifts you definitely want to get your sweetheart for Valentine's Day. We got the trucker hats, the dad hat, the t-shirt, the polo shirt, the heavyweight t-shirt, the sweatshirt, the coffee mug, the tumbler cup, and the can cooler. We've got it all right here on Alabama The Voice College Football. Jeffrey, is there anything that you could think of that's like a good birthday gift, a great birthweek gift from this selection?
I think you can't go wrong with the tumbler. Clint Moses has some other ideas. But I think
I have a feeling it's definitely not for children. What he's suggesting
that would have to be a completely different website for the Voice of College Football merch.
Yeah, and if you want that to be suggested for merch on the merch stores, I would just email voicecollegefootball@gmail.com. Or
the fact you said that with a straight face, you kind of smiled, but you really gonna suggest that?
I mean,
imagine you get that email like I got a suggestion for the Voice of College Football merch store.
Well, I mean, like me personally, I would want a Voice of College Football journal or diary because it's where you can write your deepest, darkest secrets, especially if you need to vent. So.
Or ideas like Clint Moses.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. Oh my God. Like it's always a fun time, especially a good time for a long time. Oh man. So and of course, we've also got tomorrow night on the main channel from the Voice College Football itself from Mark Rogers. The State of the Voice of College Football address, the annual State of the Voice College Football address. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central Time, from Mark Rogers and friends, all right there. You're not going to want to miss it because it's going to be a fun ride. It's the only time of the year where you can't really talk college football, but that's okay. You get to see like the magic of the other team channels, like our channel, for example, or, like the Auburn channel, the Texas channel, Oklahoma channel, Michigan, Ohio State, Texas A&M channel, Colorado channel, SEC channel. I could name you several more, but you'll definitely see it all tomorrow night from the State of the Voice College Football, all right here. Oh, we got a merch idea from Austin, a Voice of College Football teddy bear. That could work. I mean, it can help you go to sleep at night. I mean, Voice College Football teddy bears do work. What do you think, chat? What do you think?
I don't think anybody can disagree with that.
Yep. Voice College Football pillow. That's another one. Oh man, like
a Voice of College Football.
Oh yeah. There we go. We're cooking with gas tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We are cooking with gas. Oh man. All righty. So we've got some recruiting updates, and it's on our guy, Elijah Haven. And he's choosing between Alabama, Auburn, Florida, and Georgia, I believe. So he's going to be expected to make his commitment next month. He is the #1 quarterback for 2027. Now, let's find some highlights of him, shall we? Because I bet we can find some. Because it's somewhere. Yeah. Some say he's the next Vince Young. I mean, that's pretty huge right there. I mean, that's a nice comparison right there. And honestly, he's predicted to go to Alabama. Now, that would be a huge win if he does go to Tuscaloosa. I don't know if you've seen this cool cat, but he's been making magic. So let's go ahead and Oh, doggone it. Where's the mute button?
I mean, that would be big for Alabama if they could land them.
Yeah, so we're gonna see what this. So we've got some highlights from Baton Rouge. That he goes to school at Baton Rouge. So, and I can tell you, it's gonna be a fun ride getting him. Now let's Dirt. There it is. Dunham High School, part of the class 2027. He was a junior dog this season, and he's gonna be a senior in 2026. And like Andrew Ivad says that he's kind of like Jacoby Brissett, as he earned the Mats Prep National Sophomore Player of the Year honors after a 10th grade campaign, which he posted a 14-1 record and accounted for 56 total touchdowns. Showed everything you want to see from a young signal caller. And he was Gatorade Player of the Year this year in Louisiana in football, but he's also a great basketball player, as he was a Class 2A All-State second team selection on the hardwood as a freshman, district MVP, defensive MVP in his sophomore year, and he helped Dunham reach state semifinals in back-to-back years. I got to tell you, I would not want to mess with this kid. And he had 37 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, 3,093 yards for his sophomore year. This kid knows what's up. But before we go over all that, we've got Sports Talk with Austin joining us. How you doing tonight, good buddy? It's been a minute.
Yes, it has, gentlemen. How are you? How are you? Just got done watching the Nuggets beat the Wizards. Good night for all around. Thought I'd call in and talk about some Alabama and some Indiana. Try not to get Jeffrey riled up, but how are you all doing?
Oh, we're doing all right, man. And matter of fact, we're also kind of looking at another offensive tackle, which we will definitely get to in a little bit. But,
yes. I just want to say real fast, Jeffrey, congratulations on Indiana's victory and winning the national championship. I was wrong. I may have overdone it a little bit with the Miami hype, but that's okay. Miami gets us all sometimes. I should have taken Jackson's advice and not drunk the Miami juice, but that's okay. But congratulations,
they made
Jeffrey.
it to a national title. I mean, honestly, I feel it's like I asked Miami to show me what they could do, and they were showing me. So they showed me what they got.
And I appreciate it, Austin. Again, it's a crazy feeling to see, a team like Indiana win it all to begin with, but a team that I also happen to like. It's wild. I don't know. I just never would have thought in a million years that Indiana would have done what they just did. And I ain't never going to forget it. I mean, 50 years from now, we'll probably still be talking about Indiana, even if they never win it again, even if, they just fall apart after this. Like, just the fact they did it, a program like Indiana, unless, other programs that aren't good somehow can start winning championships. Like everybody keeps saying, who's going to be the next Indiana? Even if that happens, you'll remember Indiana as like the beginning of it. But regardless, people are going to remember this championship forever. And you even saw like the ratings. The ratings have come out. It was the second most watched college football playoff, like a national championship game, like final or whatever. All time. Like,
and that says a lot too. That says a lot too, because we've had Georgia Bamas, we've had Ohio States, and we've had Notre Dame Alabamas. We've had a lot of big time names playing for that title, and this is now the second most watched in history. Indiana, Miami, let that sink in. Indiana was the second most watched team in a championship game. I don't think I'd ever be saying that, but here we are in 2026.
Everybody's talking about it. I mean, like, even where I'm at, North Carolina, where, we're not a big football state. I mean, there are Bama fans and other, big time programs that have fans in the state, but it's like everybody's talking about Indiana. even people that don't even watch football that much are like, oh my gosh, that Signetti guy, the Google me guy. I'm like, literally, I've heard the Signetti guy, the Google me guy, and the Indiana team by people that probably only watch 3 football games a year. You know, like that Indiana, what they did and how many people are now talking about them out of nowhere because of what Signetti's done the last 2 years is insane. It is a complete transformation.
Oh yeah.
And I will say this too on this. We say this, and then I want to pick your all's brains about this Bama debacle we got going here. But I think what we learned is Indiana's for real. They're going to be here a minute. And we learned, Jeffrey, and I think even you would admit after watching that game that Miami was legit as well. Would you not agree with me on that statement? Miami was legit.
Miami proved that they were very good. I mean, definitely. They had the 2 games that they played like crap in the middle of the season, but they rebounded from it, proved that they were actually good. I mean, I don't think anybody can say Miami wasn't good. I mean, that Miami actually played very well. I mean, the biggest issue that they had, and it reared its head in the game, was that they were not the most disciplined team. They were kind of penalized. And Beck had his moments of errors. Other than that, they were a very good team.
Mm-hmm. And for you, Jackson, are you ready to give Miami their little respect? Because I know, Jackson, you've been a big Miami doubter over the years since we've known each other. Are you ready to put Miami back in the conversation, good buddy?
I thought Miami was already in the conversation after that playoff run, honestly.
Okay.
I mean, like, honestly, I feel like they're going to be running the ACC for a little bit because, like, Florida State is complete trash.
Well, it's kind of by default. I mean, Clemson's gone. Florida State is gone. And, I mean, unless you James Franklin at Virginia Tech or someone like that. I mean, Georgia Tech's tried. But, I mean, none of those – Miami is winning because they funded their program. And they've got good players because of NIL. And their coaching staff is not disadequate enough that they win. I mean, I don't think their staff's great. I still don't think Cristobal's a great coach. I think he's improved a bit, but I think that their team is I think they've got great players. I think they recruit great players. I mean, they literally tried to get Ty Simpson. They tried to get the Mensa thing. I mean, they're paying a lot of money like Oregon. I mean, they're basically like Oregon right now. They're like Oregon, and that's going to win you a lot of games. And it also helps that the conference that they are in, sorry, but it's not strong. So somebody has to win, and Miami's winning it by default. The thing that was so disappointing with Miami is they should have never dropped the 2 games they did. They should have never lost to Louisville and SMU. That gave me fuel, and that gave other people fuel to say, hey, Miami sucks, because why are you losing to those teams? Why are you losing? No offense to SMU and Louisville. It's not like SMU and Louisville are like awfully bad, but both those teams lost to Cal. It's not like SMU and Louisville they were not that strong, and Miami should not have lost to those teams. They proved that they were much better than the team that lost to those teams. But the ACC is not in good shape, and if it wasn't for Miami, then the ACC would look like the Big 12. So it's very fortunate for the ACC to have Miami right now.
And in all fairness, to put it in context, Jeffrey, I know this upsets you in Jackson, but I know people are going to say, well, Jeffrey, you all lost to Florida State, so what does that say about the state of your program? I'm just putting that out there for you two.
And I've said it all year because I know that loss was a complete embarrassment. And I had to rein Alabama fans back in that thought that this team could win a national championship. And I'm like, yeah, but we lost to Florida State and we were very inconsistent. And inconsistency does not win you championships. So, yeah, I'm with you. I know. Alabama was still leagues better than that Florida State team. That Florida State win over Alabama doesn't help the ACC. It more so makes Alabama look bad.
And what I will say, and I think it reflects in the rankings, because that's one of the 2 things I wanted to ask you all, is Bama coming in at 21st in the way too early rankings. Now, I know as Jackson said, it's way too early to be throwing the horse out with the water. excuse me, the baby out with the bathwater. Well, if you throw the horse out with the water too, then that poor horse is just going to drown. But that's another. We digress. But what do y'all think about that? Because that was shocking to me. Because when I saw Bama at 21st, I was like, this must be a typo. Like, Bama's not 21st. Like, the lowest I thought was going to be like 12 or 13. I thought, okay, they'll dock them some points for the awful game against Indiana. But since Indiana won the title, they'll give them some grace. They'll try to overlook that FSU loss. But what do you think, guys? Are y'all worried?
What I don't get is why is USC at 13th? Like, I don't understand that, because like that's a team that didn't do so hot against Oregon last season, or 2025, of course. They didn't do so well against Notre Dame. They pissed it away against Illinois, and they pissed it away against TCU in the Alamo Bowl, 3rd and 20. That's not a top 15 team in my book. Like, I mean, like, I'm not going to knock you for losing to Oregon. All right. I mean, like, that happens. I'm not knocking you for losing to Notre Dame, but blowing it against Illinois in week 5, that's not good.
Well, it kind of goes back to last year. What did the preseason and way too early polls do? They overranked the teams that had the experienced quarterback. You saw Drew Aller, you saw Cade Klubnik, you saw Garrett Nussmeier, who I said all three sucked. And you also saw, other quarterbacks that no one believed in, like Ty Simpson and Mendoza, that I said were going to be pretty good. So what are they going to do? They are going to overrate the teams that have experienced quarterback. And USC's got an experienced quarterback. Whether you think Mayav is good or not, it's just the way that it is. Alabama they have a redshirt freshman that is going to be the starting quarterback. Unless it's Austin Mack. I don't think people think it's going to be Austin Mack. Alabama does not have experience. Alabama literally has 7 seniors projected on next year's team, unless that's changed Jackson through portal acquisitions. But I ain't sure. We talked about this the other night. We have 7 seniors. That's what Travion mentioned. These other teams have a lot more experience than that. And if Indiana taught us anything, experience does matter. So coaching matters too. But see, we're not really strong, it seems, in that area either. Our coaching just doesn't look all that good.
Well,
Steve saying no excuses, please. See, what I'm confused is I don't know exactly where I'm making excuses. What I'm saying is that Alabama's in bad shape right now. We don't have experience. Our staff's questionable. We don't have effort. So I'm not surprised we're 21.
Well, and here's the thing, too, and I think for a lot of people, not you and Jackson specifically, but this is kind of the new Alabama. And, like, a lot of people, have this whole Nick Saban syndrome about him, oh, Nick Saban would never let us fall this far. Nick Saban this, Nick Saban that. And it's like, guys, Nick Saban's not walking back through the door. You're going to be 9-3, 10-2 every year, barely making the playoffs or maybe making the SEC title game. This is the new Alabama. Get used to it. But people still want to hold on to what Nick Saban left. It's like the Patriots. Look how long it took them to find Mike Vrabel and Drake May. It's going to take y'all a minute to find that groove again. Like, and I know people say, well, it's Alabama. We should be winning and dominating. We shouldn't be letting Indiana win the title. Not on our watch. But here we are.
Yeah, and the other problem is again, we don't run the ball. So, I don't know. I think, like I said, I'm wrong on predictions. I'm wrong on some players being good. I had Lagway as my number 1 quarterback. I've said it before. I'll say it again. And when we do preseason videos and streams and stuff on quarterbacks and stuff and coaches, I'm going to be wrong on some of those too. I mean, you're not going to hit on all of them. But
well, you warned everyone about Garrett Nussmeier, and you warned everybody that South Carolina was a complete disaster.
Yeah, I was wrong on Sellers having a good year. I said he was going to do well, which, I mean, he didn't completely tank his.
Well, when when you look at it, Jeffrey, not to cut you off, but out of the 3 lists that we made, you were the most accurate. You picked the Heisman winner. You had Mendoza at 5, and me and Jackson were kind of looking at you and like with everyone else, like, Jeffrey, have you lost your ever-loving mind? Boy,
I think I went as high as Jeffrey did actually on Mendoza. I don't know, but I'll have to look.
I think
back.
you had him 7th. I had him 4th. No one else had him even close to the top 10.
Yeah, but either way, it was.
I got laughed at for that, and I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It's funny because people like you had a certain media analyst in the SEC recently apologize to Indiana. It's like, dude, you shouldn't even have had to apologize to Indiana. You should have realized about 5 months ago when they beat Oregon that Indiana wasn't a bad team.
The moment
I think it was pretty obvious. It's like, okay, and then when they beat Ohio State, it's like, okay, I think they're a good. No, some people do not want to admit that they're wrong until they have no choice. And now that Indiana's won it all these people are like, okay, we have no choice but to say Indiana's good and we were wrong. Like, you could have done that a long time ago. It could have been a lot less painful if you had done that a long time ago. But
the moment
did not want to admit that.
The moment Indiana beat Oregon in Autzen Stadium,
when they beat Illinois 63-10, I was already kind of there. I'm like, okay, like this team is like Illinois is a borderline top 25 team, and you're beating them 63-10.
I saw where they were showing like still shot screenshots of Sydney having the resting bitch face for like 20 seconds left in the game while leading 63-10. I'm like, oh yeah, that guy's gonna win a natty. He's gonna.
I mean, he's like Saban. I mean, and DeBoer and these other guys don't have that. I'm not saying everybody's got to be like Saban or Cignetti, but they're not. They don't have that fire all the time, whether you're up 30 or down 30 or what.
Yeah. And honestly, because it was like, I remember doing like the Big Ten rankings, the top 10 for the Big Ten for October and November, where I was like, every week from after that Indiana victory over Oregon at Autzen Stadium, I was like, Indiana number 1, Indiana number 1. Because I was having to tell Gabe from the Rutgers show, he's like, are you sure you might get some blowback from Buckets? I'm like, I'm positive. Because these are my rankings, right? Indiana's a team I think can win the Big Ten. Like, if they could do what they did to Oregon in Autzen Stadium, that's a team that can win a Big Ten title. Better yet, they could win a natty.
But that's why Indiana is one of the best stories of all time. I mean, if Miami was playing like Georgia or Alabama or something, then Miami would have been the cool 25 years and so on. But since they were playing Indiana, there's just no doubt that Indiana was by far the better story, and they had probably 90% of the country rooting for them.
Well, and gentlemen, let me know what you think about this. What do you think about 2025 Indiana kind of being up there with 2019 LSU, 2001 Miami, 2004 USC?
Indiana is the best story of all time. See, this is the problem. If you start comparing them to those teams, Jackson, those teams were better because they had more NFL talent and they had more future Hall of Famers. And Indiana is the best story out of all of those by far, and it's not even close. I mean, you can't even put it in the same conversation when it comes to best story. Best story is Indiana by far. Now, LSU 2019 is a better team. You cannot say that 2025 Indiana is a better team than 2019 LSU because 2019 LSU has future Hall of Famers everywhere. Whereas Indiana, I don't even know if any of them are going to be future Hall of Famers. Probably none. Maybe Mendoza if he has a good career, but probably none. Their guys are going to be solid, complimentary. They're going to have really, really, really decent NFL careers. Surratt is going to have a very decent career. He's not going to have an all NFL team like history type. I don't know, man. LSU 2019, Miami 01, some of Bama's teams, those teams were just by far better because they have way better talent. Indiana was the best story by far because they were not supposed to.
I think honestly everybody could agree that the 2025 Indiana National Championship story is like not only one of the biggest turnarounds in all of sports, but also the best story ever. Because I
They
mean, like,
won as many bowl games this season as they had all
Not
time.
not to cut you off, but I think there's one team that we can maybe make an argument for. Before Kirby got there, Georgia wasn't in the best shape, and look what he's done with them now. And then look what he did when they won the first title after so many
Indiana's the
years.
best story by far. Austin.
yeah, but like
here's the thing.
but Austin, that Georgia team, they were like coming up short in the big games when they had Mark Richt. They're always blowing the big games.
Comparing Indiana's run to anything Georgia related, it doesn't make any sense. I mean,
Yeah,
for one,
like- But
here's
Georgia's
the thing.
already won a title before, and under Mark Richt, they were at least like Dan Mullen competitive.
Yeah, like looking at Indiana before,
They're so far on the opposite. Like you can compare more Indiana to like Colorado, 1990 or something. Like that was like.
I mean,
okay,
here's the thing, though, fellas.
that's something that you can drop. Georgia, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
See, but here's the thing, though. Georgia, there was a period where they were going 8-4, 9-3, where they weren't exactly there either, fellas. And you remember the big
1993 to 2007, Indiana only won 3.9 games a season.
and 2023 was like I believe it was like a 3 overtime
4
game
overtime game against
Yeah,
Akron.
4 overtime. Thank you. 4 overtime.
I'm not trying to shut Austin down here. I'm just saying that there is literally zero comparison to Georgia football and Indiana football in any way. There is no comparison.
Yeah.
And then what I want to say to that too is, and then got to ask you something about Kalen DeBoer before I get out of here, is the reason why I brought that up is because we're just talking about the singular runs. Because for the longest time, Georgia fans never thought they could get to a title game. They never thought they could beat Bama. And then when they finally did, it was like sweet heaven. Now, that's what I'm getting at. Like, Georgia is the closest thing I think you could compare to Indiana as far as an underdog story, quote unquote.
I still don't see it, man. I'm just not seeing it. I mean, again, Indiana is so far removed from these other teams that we're talking about. Any of them. Indiana is the first new national champion in 30 years. Indiana won 3 bowl games this year. And all time, they had won 3 bowl games.
Yeah.
All time. They won 3 bowl games. Even people are like, okay, Duke, if they won it all, that's the same. Duke's won 9 bowl games. Indiana, before this season, had won 3 bowl games in 125 years of football.
Like, and I'm not trying.
There is no other story or team or comparison to that. Indiana,
and I'm not trying to diminish Indiana, Jeffrey.
Program of all time that has won a national championship.
Like, I'm not trying to diminish Indiana. Like, they did a great job. I'm not trying to diminish that. I'm just trying to think of something in recent time. You know, I'm sure we could.
There's nothing.
I'm sure we could. We all three could sit up all night and go through the files and be like 1984 Yale, but that digress. But
1890 Yale, and that's not a comparison because they didn't play anybody back then. It's just there's just nothing. That's why it's not a modern era. It's like that's not even comparable football. Like, I'm sorry, I get what you're saying. Like, it's amazing. We could go through it, look at all. Indiana is the best story probably of all time. At least in the last 50 years of winning a national championship when you're just not supposed to do that. Indiana is not supposed to do that. Okay? They sucked. They were horrible. They had no success. They had like 2 good seasons, 2 like decently good seasons in the history of their program over 50, 60 years ago. And they were one-offs. And that's it. And they didn't even win anything because in the 67 game, they got blown out to O.J. Simpson in the Rose Bowl. And in 1945, they didn't even have a bowl game because the Big Ten was lame back then for not having a bowl game. So, again, like, Indiana, what they did is ridiculous. What they did is unheard of and unthinkable. And there is no other program at that level of suckage that has won a national championship. It just is not comparable. It's not. Sometimes you just no comparisons. Indiana is one of one. Until somebody else is really, really crappy does it. And even then, Kansas, Washington State,
Even that, Kansas has more bowl wins than Indiana did historically. Indiana had 3 bowl wins in 125 years of football.
All right, Jeffrey, put your Signetti back in the box. Put your Bama cap back on. Got to ask you a Bama question, and then I'll get out of your hair.
Hey, I was just having a conversation. Indiana is
Well, Jackson's giving me that look like, see what you did, Austin? You let the cat out of the box. I'm trying to put it back.
Georgia.
I'm just smiling my butt off. I'm just like,
But anywho, so Kalen DeBoer, fellas, is I know a lot of people want to have the conversation about him. When he was hired at Bama, he's coming off the national title run with Washington, right? One of Jeffrey's favorite players, Michael Penix. That's how he got drafted so high under Kalen DeBoer's brilliance with that offense. Is Kalen DeBoer, in your all's eyes, today still a top 10 coach in college football?
That's actually a good question. Like, that's a great question because it's on the fence. That is a great question. I don't know, because for one, you'd have to start ranking coaches. You'd have to find 10 that are better than him. And honestly, that's I can't say easy, because you've got your obvious people like Signetti and Kirby and Ryan Day are going to be ranked ahead of DeBoer. They're going to be ranked ahead of DeBoer.
Lanning.
No, Lanning's probably, I guess,
Kirby
ahead now.
Smart.
Yeah, Kirby, Day, Signetti, Lanning. That's 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Trying to think. Right off the top of our head, let's see.
Do you have Whittingham ahead of him?
I could put Whittingham.
So that's 5.
Yeah, because honestly, the magic he's created at Utah, and I think the cultural change that Michigan's going to have under him, I would put him in that top 10.
Lane.
So,
yeah, he's a douchebag, but he's in that top 10.
Sark.
So let me ask you guys this: Marcus Freeman, is he above DeBoer?
Yes.
Yes, I would put Freeman ahead of DeBoer.
Okay.
Although I don't like how the AD screwed him over on Notre Dame.
So
Okay.
we're at about 7 because we've said yes to Whittingham. So again, you've got the top 4.
Okay, so
the top 4 of Signetti, Day, Smart, and Lanning. That's 4.
okay,
And after that, you
the
got
guy that
Whittingham,
Signetti beat,
Whit-
Mario
we got-
Cristobal.
I don't have Cristobal ahead of DeBoer. No, I don't.
I've got
That's-
Cristobal
that's me.
in the top 10, but I've got DeBoer ahead of Cristobal for now. So
Cristobal is not ahead of DeBoer. No.
Yeah, I've
He's
got
not
DeBoer. I've got DeBoer ahead of Cristobal.
Lane Kiffin, as much as his antics.
I said Lane Kiffin's top 10, even though Kiffin's a douchebag.
It kind of gets hard after that, though.
I'm trying to think real fast on the fly. Who else are we missing? Who else made the playoffs this year that would have an argument?
I don't
Elko.
give Joey McGuire an argument. I do not.
Mike Elko, maybe.
DeBoer's been to a national title game. So that right there is his trump card for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't give Mike Elko credit until Texas A&M actually is good.
And they have to beat Texas. Do that, you're good to go.
Steve Sarkisian, fellas.
That's 50-50. I could go either way with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think DeBoer is better, but I mean, Sark's winning overall more.
So
Last year, but overall.
So we just named 8 coaches that we definitively all said yes to, and then
James
it's like
Franklin is kind of 50-50. I would have DeBoer ahead of James Franklin probably.
I mean, here's the thing: I would have said Mike Norvell after they won the AC title, but now that argument's completely
Dude,
gone.
Mike Norvell is gone, and I hate that because I actually like Mike Norvell. But Mike Norvell, I can't defend Mike Norvell anymore. I tried after last year, and now after another year of that, no, history. And Gus Malzahn, all of them are they're at the bottom.
They've got until halfway through the 2026 season. If they don't improve by then, Norvell is out.
See, and that's the thing too. Like this, the legitimately reason why I bring that up, because, you know, after the job he's done here at Bama, you know, because when he was at Washington, he brought that program back to relevancy, got him to the national title game, and it's just kind of like he was a top 10 head coach. Seemed to be consensus. Like Bama was getting a great hire. Nick Saban had picked the right guy for the job. That's why I ask, is he still the man?
Dabo Swinney 3 to 4 years ago was second or third.
Yeah.
Jackson.
Now we're not even talking about it.
I think Dabo these days is kind of like where Bobby Bowden was, where Bobby Bowden was whooping everybody's ass from 1987 to 2000, but then like 2001, 2009, Florida State was just falling apart. They were just a complete disaster. I mean, they were like bragging about making a second half comeback against North Carolina, a mediocre North Carolina team, in the second half on Thursday Night Football on October 22nd of 2009. Like that was not good. And they were fighting for bowl eligibility.
So there's one more coach I do want to ask. And Jackson, don't sick the dogs too hard on me. Lincoln Riley. Is he a top 10 coach?
I knew the moment you said don't sit the dogs.
Hey, he would have said Brian Kelly if he was still employed. So. I'm not hating, but you would have said that.
In all seriousness, though, guys, like take your Notre Dame USC rivalry cancellation.
That's more of a me saying that, Jeffrey. So you're
Lincoln Riley's not ahead of DeBoer.
No,
because they're both offensive geniuses.
Like
Go ahead, Jack.
What about Kirk Ferentz, Mr. Longevity? Should he be in that conversation? I mean, I'm kind of being sarcastic, but I mean, there is something to be said that he just keeps doing the exact same thing forever, and he still hasn't fallen off.
I like
Gundy and Narduzzi. They fell off.
Yeah,
I know Narduzzi's kind of trying to come back, but you know, like they fell off. Mm-hmm. Ferentz just keeps doing the same thing over and over. That's kind of commendable.
Lincoln Riley is nowhere near top 10 for me. Like 2 years ago, he would have been, but heading into 2026, no. You don't piss away your bowl game by allowing a touchdown in overtime on 3rd and 20. I mean, like you're sitting there at the press conference whining about how you don't need Notre Dame, but then TCU is sitting there thinking about you, how they're going to beat you in the 2025 Alamo Bowl. And the fact is, Lincoln Riley was not hired to hope that they can do just enough to beat TCU to earn a 10-win season. No, Lincoln Riley was hired to take USC on a playoff run. He's not done that. He's not gotten USC to the playoffs. Now, 2026 is a make or break year, put up or shut up year for the USC Trojans. They can't blame anything on Notre Dame. They have to make sure they can go 10-2 and get at least one playoff win.
An interesting coach too would be Dillingham, because the fact that Dillingham had a great little run there, but I feel like he's about to fall off a cliff. He's about to, which sucks because I don't think he's bad. I think he did a really good job, but Michigan fans were like, "Well, you made a bad decision."
Here's the thing:
not going to Michigan. It's like he stays at Arizona State.
I don't like doing this, Jeffrey, but Sonny Dykes, he went to the national title game. Like, is he in this conversation? Like, right there on the cusp of it. I know that sounds stupid on the surface, but if we're giving DeBoer credit for playing in the title game, do we give Sonny Dykes any credit?
I think the difference is because of the fact that at least DeBoer, they tried. They were like competitive-ish in the game. TCU, the entire shine off.
They went 5-7 the year after.
Completely fell off a cliff when you lose 65-7, and then
I don't think Sonny Dykes is going to lead TCU to a Big 12 title with his own career.
He's not terrible. I mean, he's not terrible. Like, he actually did better this year, but then he lost Josh Hoover to Indiana, so it's like.
And one last coach, Jackson's favorite, Shiitake, is he right there, or does he need another year before we start?
He's not actually bad. I just think that the problem is the school he's at is a ceiling. Shiitake has a ceiling at BYU.
Yeah, Kalani Shiitake. Yeah, he's a coach. He's another coach with a resting bitch face. Yeah, he's gonna get BYU Big 12 title.
But as you can see, all three of us just sit here and named off all these coaches. So DeBoer's like right there, like in the mix. But
I think he's above most of them. I think he's like 8.
I mean, a better way to phrase it is: would you and Jackson take any of those coaches that we named over DeBoer besides the top 5, the Dillihans, the Lincoln Rileys, those kind?
No, I am not taking Riley.
The only coaches that would be a better hire definitively over DeBoer probably at this stage would be Curt Cignetti and Lane Kiffin. And they're not going to get Curt Cignetti. Lane Kiffin,
no, they might get Kiffin.
Might leave LSU. But, I mean, do we really want Lane Kiffin?
Hell no, we don't, because he will leave you for something better.
I mean, I think DeBoer clearly was a better hire than Mike Norvell. I mean, I don't know. Like, there wasn't a lot of names that were like slam dunks or home runs or.
No, that's the problem, because not a lot of coaches want this job. That's the thing.
Like
because
Cignetti, yes, Cignetti would be the home run hire, but I don't think Cignetti's going to happen.
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Jeffrey. I'm going to put you and Jackson in the shoes real fast. If you're picking between, let's say, a Texas Tech, Alabama, Indiana, one of those 3 schools to go coach at, you're picking Tech or Indiana because you're like, at least if I go 8-4 at Tech, no one's going to throw me out. Bama, I go 8-4, they're going to chew me out and threaten to shoot me out of the house, so to speak. That's why DeBoer doing what he's done so far has been pretty impressive. He's holding off the dogs.
I mean, fans are mad, but I mean, not enough to want him fired. I mean, it's mostly, like the internet people, a lot of fans that I've talked to, they've been, like actual fans that watch the team. I mean, they're disappointed with Alabama, but I don't think they necessarily want DeBoer fired. My problem is you fire DeBoer, and then you just get into this hiring and firing thing that Auburn's done and Nebraska's done and some of the other. You don't want to do that. No. Okay, you lose your stability when you're firing and hiring and firing and hiring and firing and hiring. It doesn't work. I'm not a believer.
No, because if we do that, firing people because we're having a bad day or being mad, then we become Nebraska, honestly, and that's not good. You don't
fired multiple coaches that were better than their subsequent coaches, and each subsequent coach that they hired was worse than the one before, and they kept getting worse and worse until now Nebraska is an unrecognizable cesspool, and it's a shame.
Yeah, I mean, I know Chris Camp was saying if Lane ever got lucky to be Bama's coach, he won't leave unless I don't want Lane because, he's still on my list.
There's not a lot of other coaches that are better than Lane that Alabama could even target. That's the problem. I mean, Lane is a realistic target, and we know that the way Lane and Saban are, it's like, oh, you're going to have Lane go from LSU to Bama just like Saban did. I don't know. There's a lot of crazy stuff there.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's just, to me, I think DeBoer, he's I don't dislike DeBoer. I think DeBoer is a good coach. I just think that the circumstances are not really in his favor right now. The way he's trying to coach the team, the way the staff's trying to coach, and the way things are going in college football right now, it's just he's just not in a good spot. It's it's a transitionary time, and he just doesn't seem like he's working out, and it's a shame. Dabo Swinney, I think, is a great coach. I think Dabo Swinney is an amazing coach, and what he has done in his career will not be forgotten, like Belichick. But the problem is, Dabo, the way the game has changed, he has not adapted.
In my opinion, Dabo should have gotten out after 2023
Since he has not adapted and Clemson has not adapted, they aren't winning, and they're not going to win. I mean, if Dabo Swinney adapted and he was at a school that has adapted to all this crazy shenanigans that are going on in football right now, then I think Dabo could win again. I mean, I don't think Dabo's forgotten how to coach. I don't think that's the case. I really don't. I don't believe that. But, I mean, I don't know. it shows you how quickly a coach can lose his status, though. Because, again, 2-3 years ago, we all had Dabo was the second best coach in college football. Maybe second or third, right behind Saban, maybe ahead of Kirby, maybe behind Kirby, somewhere in that range. And now Dabo, for some people, isn't even near the top 10. I mean, Dabo, I think, is a really good coach. But, again, he ain't winning anymore. So, you're not winning anymore, people are going to turn on you.
Yeah. I mean, like, for me, Lane Kiffin can win at LSU, and I'm still not going to be sold on because there's just a lot of drama with him. I don't like it. I don't like, but Chris, you may have to sell me a little more on Lane Kiffin. You're going to have to sell me a little more because I'm still sore about what Kiffin was doing on January 2017 leading up to the national title. I don't like it. I thought it was terrible the way he left Bama. Leaving from Florida Atlantic was not the problem. It was the way he was doing it. That's just me. Well, Jeffrey, what magic are you cooking up on Only Talk Sports, good buddy?
Definitely. Me and Will did our predictions for the NFL coming up this weekend. That should be a bunch of fun. And we also recapped the awesome national championship game. And we talked about the portal and some other stuff, early Heisman odds and way too early top 25 and all that kind of stuff. So that was a bunch of fun. So definitely, if you want to check that out and you missed it, subscribe on my channel, Only Talk Sports. You'll be able to check that out. Definitely would appreciate that. Well, I'll have more content coming soon on my channel. Also, follow me on X as well. Most importantly, subscribe to Alabama, the voice of college football. We cannot do without you guys. It's been amazing support. Doesn't matter if you're an Alabama fan or not an Alabama fan. We want everybody to come in here and talk college football with us, Alabama football with us. It's definitely, as Jackson always says, rain, sleet, snow, hail, all that stuff. Whether Alabama sucks or we can get back to being good, we'll be here talking Alabama football with you, and hopefully Alabama gets things turned around this offseason. But definitely looking forward to talking with you guys about it.
I agree, man. Tell your friends, your family, and the cashers to post about the magic that Jeffrey creates at Only Talk Sports, where he talks sports every single day, or at least he tries to. All right there on Only Talk Sports. You can catch him Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central Time, and all right here on the Alabama Call-In Show, as he and I take your calls discussing the Crimson Tide. All righty, man. Well, when you sleep well, man, I'll be seeing you soon. And, of course, you can check me out on Jackson Johnson 979, where I've got my personal show, The Jacksonian. And you can check me out on Jacksonville CFB on @/Twitter and on Instagram with those Jackson Johnson 543-908. We will make sure to pick back up on Elijah Haven, of course. We'll make sure of that. We'll be talking a little more about him. Jeffrey, Travion, and I will definitely make sure we'll keep you updated. And, of course, thank you all for getting us closer to 3,200 subs, as we are now 58 subs away from that magic. And I can tell you right now, it's always going to be a fun ride, all right here on Alabama, the Voice of College Football. And we've got the YouTube membership tiers. For $2.99 a month, you can become a Crimson Faithful member with a loyalty badge next to your name and in the comments and the live chat, custom emojis to use in the comments and the live chat, and member shoutouts. For $4.99 a month, you can become a Saban Disciple, where you'll have priority replies to comments and access to a monthly hangout from yours truly, Jackson Johnson, Jeffrey Only Talk Sports, and Travion Ware. And for $9.99 a month, you can become a Bear Bryant legend, where you can connect on social media with each of us and give out content requests of any kind. And neither rain, nor sleet, nor snow, nor the weird Alabama weather will put a stop to us from fulfilling your content request. All right here on Alabama, the Voice of College Football. And with that being said, we will definitely see you Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. But we may be seeing you before then, because there's definitely going to be some recruiting news. There could be some portal news. We will have it covered all right here on Alabama with the Voice of College Football. And with that, we wish y'all a good night and to stay safe, stay warm. It's cold out, and roll